Hello, and welcome to my final guest chat video celebrating the launch of my latest picture book, Libby the Labivia Jajoyana. Please welcome my guest today, Rachel Smets, confidence coach. Rachel, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, Reagan.
Absolutely.
I'm delighted and delighted for your book launch as well. So
Oh, thank
thank you
you.
so much. And who am I? I'm traveling the world. I'm doing what I love, and most of all, I really learned to grow my confidence. And I think that's the topic of today. And I can say that I used to be super shy and really no confidence or
Mhm.
very low, and I really learned to grow it. And I'm sure we'll talk about that today. And so now I can help people to break through their life and really do what they really love and what they're passionate about, which is what I did. I quit my corporate and I'm traveling the world and doing what I love because I know I can, and I want people to know that they can. So let's dive in. I can't wait to talk more.
Lovely, lovely. Well, I was also a shy person. I do consider myself sometimes still a shy person,
Mm,
left over. So this will be a very interesting conversation for me. Now, just to clarify, you work with adults, but of
hmm
course, all adults started off as children, so
hmm
it's still, a tied-in issue here.
Yes.
So first off, can I ask you about confidence and or
hmm
self-esteem in general? Um,
hmm
maybe how it ties into the themes of the book, which includes how people feel about how they look,
hmm
their appearance, and how they think they may be different from everyone around them.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And when I read your book, and
Mm.
it's an amazing book because yes, it's for children, but I just recognized so much in this and in your message
Thank you.
from that. And the thing that came up all the time was stop comparing yourself to others and be your unique self. And
Mhm.
I really loved it so much because I did a TEDx talk about stop comparing yourself and be your unique self, because that's really the message that you want to bring. And whether you're a cactus or a violet, it's just, everyone has unique messages. But what do we do as children, as teens, as adults? We look at others and we compare ourselves to others. And nowadays with social media, doesn't matter what age we are, but we're scrolling down social media and we're seeing all these beautiful pictures and beautiful people and beautiful relationships and beautiful, like the flower, and we're like, oh, they're so amazing. And they have all of that and I don't have it. And they have all the success and I don't have it. And they're so lucky to be like that and I don't have it. And that's because we compare ourselves, and it keeps us stuck, and it keeps us I don't know, miserable sometimes, and it keeps us, negative and thinking negative about ourselves. But the message you bring and I want to bring is also like, wait a minute, stop doing that. Stop comparing yourself to the outside image of someone, comparing that outside look and that outside success and that outside so-called luck with our inside,
Yeah.
because that's what's happening. We're comparing the outside with our inside, being shy or not good enough or not feeling good enough. It doesn't make sense when you think about it logically. It doesn't make sense. Why would you compare yourself to the outside image? Because guess what? On social media or anywhere else, we and people often just we show our best and
Bingo.
we hide our mess.
Mhm.
When you or I post on social media, we're not going to post a picture where we're lying in bed miserable with, it's like, no, we show our best all the time. So does that make us also lucky? No, we work hard for it, and there's a whole behind the scenes going on, right? So the message is, first of all, be aware of that it's the outside image and not the inside, and that everybody has a mess and everybody has bad days and everybody has good days, right? But then it comes to, okay, what about you? What about your message? And the one quote that keeps popping up to me when I was reading your book, Reagan, is beauty begins the moment you tell your own story.
Mm. Nice.
Beauty begins the moment you are yourself and showing yourself. And
Yes.
whether that is being a cactus with needles and spines, or being a violet with colors or different kind of colors, the beauty begins the moment you start being yourself and telling your own story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you will blossom.
Mm,
Yeah.
good addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, okay, so how does a person who is shy, who is stuck, feeling like, ugh, I look like a porcupine. My spines make me weird, compared to this beautiful garden of flowers I see before me every day. How does a person get themselves out of that?
Mm.
Because it's about you, right? I mean, nobody can do this for you. You have to grapple with this yourself. Yes?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing with confidence is something that I didn't really understand it until I started, I studied psychology, I started researching, and I started interviewing a lot of very successful people from various backgrounds. And it's also the reason why I also wrote a book, about awakening your confidence. And what I did is I interviewed people from many different backgrounds. One was a very successful author, the other a very successful international speaker, one, those kind of people that you're like, oh my gosh, they have it all, right?
Mhm.
Those people. So I interviewed all of them and I went really deep. And I'm like, okay, what is this deal with confidence? How did you become so confident? And you know what? All of them told me the same thing. Wait, Rachel, I was never so confident. I had to learn it. And so the thing that I got from that was like, everybody is learning it. Nobody is born with confidence. Everybody has to go through it. And how? By stepping out of your comfort zone, by tackling those fears, by taking action. And in my book, I have 11 hacks. Like I can talk about maybe the main ones is like, it's confronting your comfort zone. It's stepping over that fear, and it's the only way. And when you think about it, Regan, whenever you do something new in your life, whether it's taking a plane for the first time or going to school or your first kiss, I mean, simple things. The very first time you do something, it's always scary, always. But then you do it, you cross it, and it's like, yes, I did it. And you can do it again, and you get better and better and better. And it's that repetition as well. But the thing is that the first time you do anything in life, it's always scary, always. But it's only by confronting it. And the antidote to fear is facing it. It's overcoming it. It's going through it. But the thing that I've learned as well, and that I try to teach people is, why is fear so negative? Why can't we just try and see fear as something positive, as something exciting? Like when you want to do something, it scares you, but it's an excitement. It's like, oh my God, I'm excited. Instead of like, oh no, it's scary, I better not do it. No, why not see it as something positive? Shake hands with your fear, like, hello, fear, let's do this, let me. And then when you think about it, every time you cross the fear in your life, think about so many examples, then you get that sense of victory, but it's also that step of growth, because you only grow as a person or in your career or in your job or in school or getting other grades. You only grow when you face that fear. You only grow when you took action to confront it. It's the only way you actually grow. So fear is needed. Fear is not something scary to stay away from. Fear is exciting. Fear is your way to growth. And if you want to achieve anything, small or big, anything, in sports maybe, or get another level in whatnot, competition or sport, you always have to cross that comfort zone. You always have to take action. You always have to confront the fear. But then the result is like, yeah, I can do this and I can do more and I'm growing. So hey, come on, fear, and also, can I continue for 1 minute? Because
Of course.
fear is something, people are like, yeah, that sounds so good, right? But it's also that fear of, okay, but what if I fail,
Mhm.
right? And that's like the biggest fear, why people are not quitting their job, why people are staying in the comfort bubble, why people are not, doing what they really love, because
Yeah.
of that fear. What if I fail? But here's the thing. You learn from your failures. If you don't fall, if you don't fail, you can't learn. You can't. You just can't. If it's with everything. If you don't, you'll learn from your mistakes. And I always say, I never make the same mistake twice. I make it 5 or 6 times just to make sure, because you have to make mistakes. I encourage people to make mistakes. Like, come on. And the best image I give is like when a baby is crawling, right? And the baby's crawling and trying to get up and trying to do this first steps and trying to walk. And the baby falls and it falls again and tries to get back up. Are you mad at a baby? Like, you stupid baby, you can't even
Exactly.
walk. No, we don't do that. It's
No.
like, no, you fall, you get back up. It's the same. Why are we not angry at a baby, but we're always angry at ourselves?
Yeah. And
But
you wouldn't want to quit either. You don't want to give up because, well, if you were a baby, imagine a baby giving up at trying to walk on 2 feet. Uh, they don't do that. They keep
no,
trying, and that's what. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what you
But
have.
it's how they learn. It's how they grow. It's how they learn. Like, okay, I'm not going to do it that way. I'll do it that way. It's like, it's like riding a bike. It's just, it's, yeah, it's with everything. But yeah, we are not mad at kids, but we are at ourselves. So
Right.
learn from your mistakes, make them, do it, fall. And then how do you get confident? Because you get back up
Mhm.
and you do it again. It's
Yeah.
that, confidence doesn't come from a reward or an award or a degree. Confidence comes from figuring out how to get there,
Right.
figuring out how to ride your bike, figuring out how to confront people, figuring out how to talk to that person that you're afraid to talk to, figuring out how to do something. That's how you grow confidence.
Excellent. And you say you growth in particular, so this is how it applies, especially it applies to everyone, but I think about adults who maybe haven't learned about this until now. The hope is, my book perhaps can help a little bit when you're still a child. Maybe you get a little edge and advantage and learn about confidence, or begin to learn a little sooner
Mm-hmm.
than
Mm-hmm.
I did, perhaps, or
Yeah.
others
Or I did.
parents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Actually,
Totally.
would you mind talking a little bit, I guess, about your own childhood, and with respect to confidence? And
Yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
this is obviously a book aimed at children. So yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, totally. And I think my advice would be more for parents, because that's how I learned from being a child. And actually, okay, I'm going to be really honest, I'm not a parent, but I have a brother who is more than 10 years younger than me, so I was kind of his mother. And so I always, I learned a lot from my upbringing, and then I kind of passed it on to him, and he's
Mhm.
turning out really great. So
Excellent.
I did something good. But he what I learned was, I came up from parents who, I mean, they love me to bits. I love my parents. Okay, let me put that
Mhm.
in front of everything. But it was always critique. It was always negative. It was always not good enough. Like, I came home with the best grades, and but everything that happened in not just me but everyone around us, I was brought up with this mindset of, okay, yeah, but, like, yeah, but it could be
Uh,
better, or yeah, but it could be different. Yeah, but it was always like there was something always, like, it was never like, oh, great, it's good, that's it. It was never,
yeah.
oh, Rachel, we're so proud of you. Or, I was 35 years old and I asked my parents, like, you know what? I'm still trying to make you proud of me. And I confronted them with them, because
Huh.
they never in my life told me one time, yes, we're proud of you. Never.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
then they're like, yeah, but we're proud of you. You know that. I'm like, no, I don't know that. Adult, 40 plus, it's like now they're actually sometimes like, oh my gosh, you're doing great. Because I kind of taught my parents to
Yes.
tell me, like, tell me you love me, you know?
Yeah.
But it's and for some people and for some adults, it'll never happen. But the message I'm giving here is, like, it's so important to tell your children, like, hey, you're doing well. Who you are, you as a person, you're doing well. We love you. We're proud of you. Whatever small thing, like the smallest thing, like, hey, you reading one sentence, you wrote this, you know that you observed something, you said
Mhm.
something. The smallest things, like, yeah, wow, you did this good. That gives this sense of confidence, like, okay, I am good enough. Because me, for the longest time, I thought, I'm not good enough. Who am I? Who am I to speak up? And then I had to thought and train myself and read thousands of books and I don't know what. And just, I went through a lot of things to really grow and learn that, okay, yes, I can be on a stage and speak my message. But wow, what a journey. But if
Mhm.
parents can give that to their children,
Yeah.
that would definitely be a good stepping stone.
I mean, they're in a stage, like these stages of development. They are developing, and it's so important to have as much of a positive impact as you can on them. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. This is not about parents have to do a perfect job either,
Oh
because
no.
again, failure, there is a purpose to failure, and
Hmm.
it's for learning. There's a purpose for tests,
Yes.
and
Yes.
figure out where right now you're not quite there. So
Hmm.
this is something that took me forever to learn. Actually, it's when I was a little kid, and for a long time, I thought it was about getting it right the first
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that is so not the case. But again,
That brings me to a point
yeah.
of, sorry to interrupt you,
Oh,
but
no,
it's
no,
like
no, that's good.
there is really no right or wrong. Like there isn't. It's like, it's that, I'm a recovered perfectionist. I call it like that because I always like, that's the thing. It's like, okay, it's got to be black or white. It's got to be right or wrong. It's got to be perfect. And it's just exhausting and it's stressful and we're putting all that pressure on us. But
Yes.
that's the thing. Whether you're a parent or you're a child, there is no right or wrong. Just try.
Yes.
Just be yourself, just do it, and then if you can improve, great, and if you can and you're doing the best you can, perfect. But what is perfect? What's the definition? It's something that it's the pressure you put on yourself, because there isn't. Just be the best you can. That's it, as a parent or as a child, and that's good.
Oh, sorry. And just if we were to frame things to parents, perhaps would it be best for them to think how, sort of like how you confronted your parents, how you as the parent would have liked to have been treated with respect to your confidence and self-esteem as a child, and then do that with your kid, basically.
I think if you're an adult, I think the main thing is really to feel good enough within yourself,
Mm-hmm.
whether your parents approve or not, or say
Mm-hmm.
something or not, or other people or not. I think that for me was the biggest turnaround. Like, I am okay.
Yes.
Because the message I'm saying now a minute ago is like, okay, if you're a parent and you tell your children you're okay just as you are, I think that's beautiful, and that's just showing the love you have for your kids, and that's amazing. If you didn't get that and you're an adult, I think just be okay no matter what. Like, just
Mm.
know that within yourself, I'm good enough, because I work with adults, and I see it over and over again, and it's always like, oh, but I can't, and I'm not good enough, and who am I to do this or that? And it's just because deep down it's like it's ingrained, it's unconscious in us, and they're like, oh, I'm not good enough to do this, or I'm too old, or I'm this, or it's all these other excuses, but the bottom line is I'm not good enough. And so when you can know for yourself, like, look, I'm okay just who I am. Like, I'm a cactus. I'm okay just who I am,
Yeah.
and I have unique talents and unique gifts, no matter what they are. Whether you don't have to have degrees or be a doctor. No, you can be a good mom. You can be a good sister. You can be a good cook. You can be good at sports. Everybody has
Yeah.
good skills and something to offer and something to give. And when you can just tell yourself, look in the mirror and just like, yeah, actually, that's an exercise I did with myself to train
Yes.
myself. Like, just look in the mirror, like, I love myself. I'm good enough. And just looking in the mirror. And then in the beginning, I didn't believe myself saying it. I didn't.
Mhm.
But I just kept doing it and doing it until I like, okay, it's like the thoughts create the reality. Once you think it, you believe it, and then you create it, right?
That's an
Um,
excellent tip. Yes, for
yeah.
people to, an exercise, basically, if
Yeah.
it's something that you feel like you need to work on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, um, we've touched on this, but I wondered if you had more to say about the interpretation of beauty
Mm.
and how it can come in so many different forms, but people have a tendency to frame it as a particular thing, i.e., the violet. The violet is
Mm.
beautiful, the cactus is not,
Yeah.
but that's not true.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was reading your book, I also had this image of a field. I'm actually standing in the Netherlands right now. Next week I'll
Mhm.
be in Portugal, but right now, and in the Netherlands, it's all about tulips,
Yes.
flowers. And when you have this image of, let's say, there's a field of red tulips. Like,
Mm.
just imagine a field of red tulips, and there's one white tulip in
Ah.
between that whole field.
Mhm.
Then some people could say, ah, what a shame for that white tulip. I mean, it just ruins the whole field because it's just beautiful red, and then there's this annoying white tulip, right?
Mhm.
Or you could say, oh my gosh, look at that unique white tulip in the
Right.
middle of that field.
Yeah. Out of all of the red tulips, there's
Yeah,
one.
look how
Yeah.
brave that white tulip is there, just standing, like, and flourishing and flowering, and it's beautiful. So it's really about seeing the beauty in everything, seeing
Which
the
there
beauty
is.
in a cactus, seeing the beauty in the violet, seeing everybody. There's beauty in every one of us,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter how you describe it or how it comes out, but there's uniqueness in everything. And I think, yeah, just and for us as well as human beings, when we have relationships or conversations with other people, instead of judging from the looks, just try and always look deeper, look further, look at the other person, that you just see on the outside. Like when you see on social media something, try and see, like, wait a minute, what's really going on? It's yeah, it's not just the outside, there's so much going on within, and
Mhm.
beauty is just so many things.
Yeah. It's not just the superficial.
Mm,
The first impression. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult for people to get past that, though. How does a person sort of change their mindset about that? The first impression, the cover
mm.
of the book, basically, and not what's inside.
I think I think just look at yourself.
Mm,
Like for me, it was just holding up a mirror, like really holding up a mirror, and just observing myself, and just observing, like, okay, what am I portraying outside, but how do I really feel inside? Like,
mm,
am I just showing who I truly am, or am I trying to be somebody else? Am I trying to show somebody because somebody's expecting something from me? Am I trying to smile and be happy all the time because that's what's expected from me, or am I really being myself? I think holding up that mirror is what really did a lot of transformation in with me. Like, okay, wait, what am I doing? Because for the longest time I was a big people pleaser. Like, okay, I need to go to that party, I need to go to a coffee, I need to help this person, I need to do this, I need to do that, because I want people to like me.
right.
I want others validation and approval that I'm okay, because
Yeah.
I didn't feel okay.
Right.
And the moment you can, the difference, I did a video on that last week. I do a lot of videos on YouTube, is like
Mm,
the difference between, because people pleasing, some people argue, like, yeah, but it's okay to be kind, right? It's okay to be a nice person. What's wrong with people pleasing? Okay, here's the difference. The
mm,
difference between being kind and courteous and kind, and being a good person, and people pleasing,
right.
is the need to be liked.
Right.
That need for approval, that need, like, oh, I want everybody to like me, I just want to do this and this and this, but you're not being yourself.
Hmm.
You're not being yourself because you just want likes. It's like on social media, you couldn't say it better than, oh, the more likes I have, the better I feel, you know
Right.
and then it's like,
Right.
oh, I posted something and then nobody liked it, and oh, now I feel miserable. Come on, that's
Yeah.
sad.
Yes.
You are okay. You don't need to be liked. You
Right.
need to be yourself, and you need to choose for yourself. Do I want to help this person? Do I feel good about helping this person? Or do I do it because I want them to like me, but I'm actually not being myself?
Right, right. And of course, the need for people to like you in the not being yourself is all
Hmm.
wrapped up in confidence, of course. So,
Yeah,
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 yeah. So be okay with yourself, love yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, say, I'm okay just how I am. And if somebody asks you something, to go there or to do this or to that, always go back to yourself and ask yourself, do I really want this? Is this going to make me happy? Is this what I really want? Or do I do it for other reasons?
excellent. Okay. Now, I would like to give you the opportunity to plug yourself, your YouTube channel, anything that you are offering, because I would like people to be able to find you now
Hmm.
that, some may have just met you through this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want them, these people who could definitely benefit from your message and your coaching to find you. So please plug away.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's
Of course.
really easy. If you can spell my name, Rachel Smets, Smets, then you can find me everywhere, because you type it in YouTube, Rachel Smets, you type it in Google, you'll find my TEDx talks, you'll find my YouTube channel, you'll find my website. Everything is Rachel Smets, my Facebook, my LinkedIn. And if anybody just wants to chat, just wants to talk, just wants to boost of motivation, all my weekly videos every Wednesday on YouTube, it's all about motivation, inspiration to really be the person that you want to be and do the things that you like and that you want to do. And so I'm really open to have a conversation or chat. And I'm just, yeah, I just want all those cactuses, those Libbies, to feel good, to really feel good, and just to,
Absolutely.
yeah, I do, I really do. So again, thank you so much for having me, and for your amazing book. It's even for an adult, wow. I
Oh,
really enjoyed it. It has a great message for a lot of ages.
thank you so much. Thank you. And it's been terrific chatting with you today. Thank you for joining me.